What's happening, guys? Welcome back to the YouTube channel. So we are back in the gym with Andrew behind the lens today, and we've got delts, arms and legs on the cards today. So bit of a strange session, bit of an amalgamation of everything. Why, you might ask? Well, I'm supposed to train delts and arms today. However, I'm going home to Ireland tomorrow for 4 days for a friend's wedding. So we're just combining arms and legs today, and then we're taking 4 full days rest, full deload, and then the off season really begins when we're back on Monday, because that is when we're back on cycle. So we're coming to the end of this cruise period now, guys. I'm pretty happy with how things have gone overall from start to finish. I'm exactly, I think today, 6 weeks off cycle since I've done my last, full-blown jab before my last show. So we've been running 280 tests, 90 primo, and honestly, even on that dosage, I feel like I've been making incredible progress. Key to this has been nailing down my sleep, nailing down my recovery, and nailing down my diet and eating to my needs and not taking the piss over the last 6 weeks. So things have been kept extremely controlled, which you'll probably see if I give you a quick physique update at the end of the video. And we've been absolutely militant with everything. And as a result, training has honestly never been better. I am shocked at the amount of progress I've been able to make during this cruise period, especially relative to previous cruises that I've done before in the past. Normally, especially at this stage, I do see a little bit of a drop off in my strength. My recovery has dropped off, yes. I am starting to get a little bit sore. I am feeling the nattiness now a little bit more, I'm not gonna lie. But it's all good, guys, because, soon we will be getting back on cycle and we're not gonna be feeling as rough anymore. So we'll take you through today's session. I'll have one less day of recovery than I normally would for legs, but it's the last leg day before a deload, guys, so we've got a full send it regardless, all right? So it's gonna be balls to the walls today. We'll take you through the session, and hopefully we'll wrap up this cruise period still hitting PBs on all of this. So we'll head upstairs, we'll kick off with some prime lateral raises. Then we're gonna probably condense the arm work today. I'm not gonna do the full arm volume I normally do because we'll be all fucking day in the gym. So we'll just do 1 set each for biceps, triceps, and then we'll get into the leg work. One set in, pump covers coming off already. It's very humid, very hot, 22 degrees in the gym today. I'm not feeling it, I think this gym needs aircon. So one thing I will say about it, in the winter it's fucking freezing, in the summer it's absolutely roasting, and the heat is unbearable. So lots of hydroflow in the intra workout today, guys. 3 sets done there. Didn't feel the best, I won't lie. I'm not the biggest fan of this piece of kit. And when Cuba put it on my program, I was like, I never really get on well with this. It feels great at the start when it's like really light, and then the second it gets anyway heavy, no matter how hard I try, I always just feel a little bit more trapped than I do side delt in this. I still feel the side delts, don't get me wrong, but it's just a little bit too much back for me here. So I might potentially see, can I swap this out for something else later down the line, another lateral raise variation. I like the dumbbells. I'm a bro like that, dumbbell lateral raise, you can't beat them. Cuba just seems to not like the dumbbell lateral raise at all. But I don't know how long I'm going to be able to do this for, to be honest. Something just doesn't feel right for you guys, just don't do it, because you're not going to enjoy doing it. Even when I got to the 3rd set there, I just didn't want to do that set. You know what I mean? And you shouldn't really be like that in the gym. Yes, there are some exercises where you will like them more than others. And it's not always about doing all the things you like, because sometimes the exercises you don't like are exercises for weaker body parts. And if you have a weak body part, it's probably because you don't like training that body part. So you've got to learn to kind of like and accept some things that may not feel the best. But if you've been training for a very, very long time and you love training shoulders like I do, and this doesn't feel good, just do another exercise. All right, guys, next up, you will have seen this on the channel before. Superset, bicep, tricep with the D-handle bar here, I suppose you could call it. One of my favorites. So saves a lot of time here, and it feels great. One thing I have actually been doing on my arm days, or before my arm days should I say, is I've actually been pinning my biceps. So something I was kind of scared to do for a very long period of time, but I've actually tried it recently and it feels mega. It is a little bit sore, but you do get an absolutely unbelievable pump. So it's one of those bro things that I heard back in the day and I was like, surely that doesn't make a difference, but give it a go, because I have actually been pinning them with some engineered turbocharged and coming in and getting an arm pump, and my arms are swelled after them. So even just from a placebo standpoint alone, if I feel like I'm getting a better pump, I must be getting a better pump, right? So one thing that I say all the time when it comes to training arms is that you need to kill the momentum in your reps. So something I see all the time is people at the top of a tricep extension or even at the bottom of a bicep curl, swing, use momentum to move that load rather than actually using their triceps. So when I came up to the top of the tricep, push down, I stop, I pause, and then I press down. Killing that momentum, taking that brief second, just stop, pause, hold the weight in the stretch, and then push down, you're gonna feel so much better of a connection and engagement with your triceps rather than just coming up to the top and using momentum to swing that weight back down. Same with a bicep curl, same across every single movement, to be honest. But I think in particular with smaller isolation exercises like your arm work, it's crucial. Whew. Should have taken a breather there. Oh. When it comes to arms, do not just treat them as an afterthought. They shouldn't just be tagged on the end of your session and just go through the motions. If you want to actually build big arms, then you have to train them like everything else, okay? I used to be that guy. Arms tagged at the end of push and pull, half-assing it, just getting them done, walking out of the gym with a tiny bit of an arm pump. Instead of just training them properly, giving them the respect they deserve, I train them balls to walls to failure like I would on a leg press, okay? So I'll put my hands up and I'll admit, I had the worst arms ever. I still have the worst arms ever for a long time, but they're a little bit better now. That's because I've been treating them properly, treating them like any other body part, any other big muscle group, and not just treating them as an afterthought. It helps to have them at the start of legs here, but still, if you've got body parts, guys, that are weaker, you probably just don't like training them. Like I didn't like training my arms, but you need to still train them as hard as you train everything else if you want them to grow. Right, that is the arms segment of the workout wrapped up. Honestly, I haven't done those couple of sets, getting a pump, getting a little bit of blood flow going. It's really woken me up and I feel a lot better. And I kind of want to do the remainder of my arm session, but I got to pace myself, for legs. So we'll save our energy for the bigger stuff today, guys. All right, guys, so I'm going to walk you through what the leg day is going to look like for today. Starting off, we've got the prime seated leg curl, 3 sets on this, followed by 1 set on the prime pin loaded leg extension, 2 sets on the Cybex 45-degree leg press, 1 set of a barbell RDL, and 2 sets of calves. That is it, 9 sets total for legs, so very, very low volume. Now, a week or 2 ago, Kuba did actually update my training plan with a little bit more volume based off my feedback for what we're going to do when I get back after my deload and I'm back on cycle. Now, I feel pretty good today, and I felt pretty good in my last leg session, and I kind of went against the grain of his orders for once. Not that I ever do that all the time, I do. And I did my hip thrusts when I wasn't supposed to. I told him, obviously, I just tagged him on Instagram and said, sorry mate, I had to make an exception for the hip thrust on the volume for today. So normally I'd have 1 set of leg extension today, and we're going to have 2 afterwards. So I'm debating if I feel good or not. Will I just do that extra set of leg extension? Because I have 4 days off anyway. But then I'm like, I only trained my legs 4 days ago, not 5 days ago. I'll have to wait and see, guys. Again, right? The key thing here is go off feel. How do you feel? If I feel good today and it's on, take it. If I don't feel good and it's not on, auto-regulate and pull my volume down. Going off how you feel when you're a little bit more experienced, I do think has a lot of merit, because some days it's going to be on, right? You're going to be able to push that little bit harder, maybe do that extra rep, do that extra set, take that +1. And other days you're going to be absolutely smashed, and you know if you push through, you're just going to end up in a bigger hole for yourself. It's going to take you an extended period of time to recover from. So go by feel, guys, or regulate. If it's good, take it. If it's not so good, maybe pull back a little. It was actually quite convenient that I had arms before legs today, because now I've got a tremendous arm pump. I'm wearing a tank top. It's warm out. Andrew's behind me, behind the lens here for the content, so it's just going to make me look twice as big as I normally do when all these reels go live on Instagram. So happy days, happy days. When it comes to your warm-ups as well, guys, obviously it is important to make sure you're warming up your muscles to get ready for that top set, but also it's important to warm up your mind, okay? Your warm-ups you should be using to get yourself focused, get yourself locked in, get yourself mentally prepared for that heavy top set. Don't just go through the motions when you're doing your warm-ups. Yes, warm up your muscles, make sure everything is firing, but be mentally prepared to attack and give it your everything for that top set, okay? You're getting into the rhythm of the movement, you're getting into the swing of things, and you're preparing yourself to go balls to the walls. Just another point on warm-ups there. Often I'll get my clients asking me, how many warm-ups should I do, or how do I know if I'm warmed up enough? I think how you know whether you've warmed up enough or not is how does your set actually move? How does it feel? So if I do my top set and I'm like, oh, that felt a little bit stiff today. No, that felt a little bit harder than it usually did. I'll then do my back off set afterwards and it'll move amazingly. And I know if that's the case on any given session, I probably should have taken a little bit more warm-ups, okay? Probably should have gotten a little bit more blood flow into that muscle before I did that top set. So that's a really good way to know, guys. If your top set feels like shit and your back off set feels amazing, you probably didn't spend enough time warming up for that top set in the first place. Right, so the warm-ups are feeling pretty good today. For my top set last week, I got 190 pounds for 14 reps. 15 is the top of the rep range. Based off how my warm-ups are feeling today, I'm gonna go for a load progression. Because I know if I go for that 190 pounds, I'm definitely gonna get 1 rep up. I might even get 2 or 3 reps up. And if I get 2 reps up today, I'm gonna be outside that rep range. So the rep range is 10 to 15. I'd actually much rather take a load progression today, get a heavier set, and know that I'm definitely still gonna fall in between that rep range and just touch some new load today, make some good progress. So again, on your warm-ups, guys, right, you're gonna be able to feel things out. If the warm-ups feel good, you'll be able to take that load progression. If they don't feel so good, maybe stick with the weight that you've used previous week and just aim to progress in reps. So again, auto-regulating, going off feel, very important skill in your training. Good call taking that load progression. 10 pounds up, 1 rep down. So on the money. Set last week, could have pushed 1 more, question mark. So I think I pussied out on the last rep of this set last week, so we really have to send it now on this set today. Camera's watching me, so if there's any pussying out, you're gonna know about it. I think it's good to use your logbook for that as well. Like, don't just write down what weight you did the previous week. Write a couple of notes for yourself, right? Could you have gotten 1 more rep? How did that set feel? These little things are important, little notes to yourself to tell you exactly how the session went, areas that you can improve on, things that you can do better, not just simply writing down a number in the logbook, but leaving yourself a little note to make sure you can make even more progress the following week based off your own feedback. 10 pounds up, 1 rep down, so bang on the money. Third set, I'm gonna stick with the weight that I actually did the previous week, and I'm gonna go for higher reps. I do actually quite like higher reps on hamstrings. A 15 to 20 rep set every now and again just feels different, man. It just lights your hamstrings up. Yes, you can do a heavy 8 to 10 on your hamstrings, but I don't feel like you get the same pump or the same stimulus. 15 to 20 rep on hamstrings, trust me, give it a try. Get like 17, 18 reps. Smooth, good, clean, continuous reps where you're not stopping and taking pauses in between your repetitions. Honestly, blows your hamstrings up. So I like to do that on my last set on hamstrings just to fucking finish them off, man. Oh, fucking hell. Ah, let's go. Whew. 16. I would have liked one or two more, but still a good set. And what you'll notice from that set is that, like, from rep 10 I started screaming like a little bitch. And that wasn't because the reps were hard to move, it was just because of the pump I was getting, right? The previous two sets I probably let a grunt out on the last repetition or two, just because that's when it was starting to get difficult. But there, the difficulty lied in the pain, right? It didn't lie in moving the weight, it was how much pain I was actually going through. So higher rep sets, completely different thing. Can you withstand that pain threshold? Can you push through? Can you drive all that blood into the muscles? It's very different than just doing lower rep, strength-based sets, in my opinion. So get good at both, do both, you know? Get really strong in a lower rep range, but then suffer through the pain of a higher rep range. And that's just how you're gonna build well-developed legs and the physique. Next up, guys, leg extension. Prime leg extension, probably the gold leg extension, to be honest. Best one I've ever used, I'm not gonna lie. So we'll do a couple of warm-ups here, nothing too crazy. Oh yeah. All right, guys, pro tip for you. Deep heat. Now, I got this trick from Ryan Gabaloni, so I won't take credit. So Ryan, this is your tip, but I'm gonna pass it on. I'm feeling a little bit battered today in the knees, so what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna get this deep heat roller, and I'm gonna rub a little bit of this on, all right? So all this is gonna do is just bring a little bit of warmth and a little bit of blood flow in around the knee joint there, warm things up a little bit, burn, and just help me not feel like my knees are gonna snap really when I'm doing a leg press or a leg extension. So I use this on my elbows and I use this on my knees for any sort of pressing or leg pressing patterns or anything like that. And it actually helps a lot. So try it out if you get a little bit of tendonitis or you get sore knees or sore joints. Yeah, we'll do the second set today, guys. We'll do the second set. That moved well, so. One thing you'll notice on these leg extension guys is that when I get my legs up to the top and my quads are fully contracted, I'm holding and I'm pausing and I'm dead stopping that weight at the top. That's crucial for me when it comes to connecting with my quads. I don't just kick and swing that weight up and bounce at the top. Oftentimes I'll see that with leg extensions or with clients' execution videos where they're kicking the weight up and at the top, they're trying to hold and contract the weight, but they can't. And their legs are just flopping like this. So you're kicking the weight up and then it's bouncing down and you're catching that bounce and you're just trying to hold there. You're not getting a true contraction through your quad. You're not fully shortening that quad. So if you want to think about contracting through your quad at the top of a leg extension, literally drag that weight up and hold and squeeze your quad at the top. There should be zero movement, okay? You should be able to drag your leg up and hold it dead still if you're contracting through your quad properly. Shouldn't see this bounce. Right, we got the side X leg press up next, so two boys are on it there. We have a little bit of a weight, which for me is probably a good thing because, as I said to Andrew off camera, I generally tend to rush a little bit too much in between my sets, and sometimes that can be a good thing. Sometimes it can be a detriment to me and my progress, because if I took a little bit longer of time to, I suppose, let the blood flow and the lactic acid dissipate a little bit, I'll probably be able to progress a little bit more. But then equally, if I wait too long, I feel like there's not enough blood there. I lose my pump and I just kind of lose my momentum with the session. So I try and find that balance between taking the time that I need for my heart rate to go down and to be mentally ready for that next set, but also not waiting too long. That mentally I kind of unplug from the session. I don't need the booster seat anyway, so I'll get rid of that. Now, we were speaking about warm-ups earlier. This is one movement that I will actually warm up on a good bit. Not so that I can get my quads warm because they're already warm from doing the leg extensions, but this is like more of a rhythm thing. So I need to do a lot of warm-ups on this to get like my bracing, my breathing right, my eccentrics, and just my pace and my tempo with this movement. So that's why I'll do a lot of warm-ups on this, so that I'm kind of neurologically and movement pattern ready for that top set, so that everything runs super smoothly. I'll tell you one thing, my legs actually feel pretty fucking good today, and it's food for thought because obviously I trained legs 4 days ago and I really want to try the push-pull legs rest, push-pull leg split that Kuba and Mark are doing with a little bit of increased frequency. And Kuba's just waiting to see how I get on with more training days and more frequency at the moment because I'm on a 4-on-1 off split, and I really want to try the push-pull legs, but you know, I'd be curious as to how I'd actually recover from that. But going off today, the legs feel pretty good. So I'll be relaying that feedback to him and seeing what he says. Knee sleeves, guys. The new hard body single ply grey knee sleeves. Unbelievable, these. DMAC 10 to pick yourself up some of these at a discount from yours truly. You won't be disappointed, guys. These will just give you a nice little bit of warmth around the knees, similar to the DP I have on right now. And that is all you need if you're a bodybuilder and you're trying to build muscle, okay? No thick neoprene or double ply knee sleeves that just bounce you out of the hole. Just a little bit of warmth, a little bit of protection, all you need. Perfect. I think when it comes to someone's training, you can almost tell how hard someone trains before they even start their set. What do I mean by that? Well, what does their preset ritual look like? Are they just looking around the gym? Do they just hop on the leg extension and just start kicking the weight up? I mean, if somebody does that, you already know they're not giving their full focus and their full intensity to that set. So you would have seen me when I was on that leg extension. Honestly, I look like a man possessed before I begin my set. My eyes light up, I'm focusing on a fixed spot in front of me, I'm pulling myself in, I take a couple of moments to breathe, to gather myself before I attack that set, so that I can give it the full attention, focus and intensity that it actually needs. Now, I'm not saying that you have to have some sort of a day preset ritual before you do your set. However, you should be building up to that set in some way, shape or form to give it your all, instead of just hopping on and lackadaisically just going through the motions. Too easy. It's on. It's on today, baby. I love that feeling when that last warm-up just moves like butter. Ooh, you know it's on. So sometimes that happens though, and then you end up shitting the bed big time on the top set. So let's hope it's not one of those days, but I don't think it is. Right, what did we do here last week? We did 6.5 plates per side for 13 reps, which I believe was actually 20 kilos up a side and match reps. So can we get 20 kilo up a side and match reps again today? That'd be a big ask, but even if we don't, rep range here is 12 to 15. If I drop a rep, I'd be happy with that, but even if I fall below 12 for today, I think I'll be okay with that. Just to touch 7 plates on this, I think that would be acceptable. Because I'm natty at the moment. I'm on cruise, I'm only 102 kilos, I'm natty. 7 plates is a good starting point on this. Kuba and Mark with their 10 plates. I'll chase them down. Oh, yes.
Yep. Yep. Nice. Yeah, come on.
Oh.
Come on, run again. Yep.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Run again. Rest.
Oh.
Go.
Oh.
Oh, you.
Thank you, bro.
No, don't touch it.
I think that was like 12, was it? I think it was 12. I'm happy with that. That's exactly what I wanted, wasn't it? And that last rep moved pretty slowly, so I could have tried to go for one more, but that would have just killed me for the back off set, guys, right? So, like I said today, I'm fully sending legs, but I'm not being fucking silly, okay? Fully sending doesn't mean bombing myself out on this and having to get your man to literally just take the weight off me. That's not fully sending. That's just being a cunt and being a retard. So, you gotta make sure, guys, when you're training to failure, you're not taking the piss, okay? And you're not doing unproductive reps. There's a difference between shouting and screaming and bottoming yourself out on the leg press and actually training hard. Don't look to train hard, actually train hard. And training hard means training accurately. Whew. Pretty impressive shit for what I'd normally do in a cruise. So, like I'd say my body just seems to be growing. I was 102.9 this morning. I'm up like 6 kilos, like I said to you yesterday. And like, mate, like, I normally gain like 10 to 12 kilos in a push-up, normally like 12. But like that would put me like minimum 115 kilos at the end of this push, which would be 5 kg heavier than I've ever been. And like, I wouldn't be surprised if I went above and beyond that. because it's like those first couple of weeks on cyclists generally tend to be where I take the larger increases in weight. It's kind of like I jump up quite a lot and then I kind of hold in the middle and then I kind of slowly climb up. And then towards the end, like it's very, very slow, but man, it'll be interesting. I'm fucking looking forward to it. I'd say it'll be fun trying to make my cap next year, that's all I'd say. I'll get there though, I'll get there. Most important thing on a leg press, guys, or any other quad exercise for that matter, is going to be knee flexion, okay? One of my pet peeves is when people say, I can't get any deeper, I can't put my heels any lower on the platform. Yes, you can, okay? There's no point going into the gym and loading up the leg press or the hack squat with tons of plates and doing half reps. If you want to go with big quads, you got to get full range of motion and as much knee flexion as possible. Maximizing knee flexion should always be your goal across all quad movements. If you are not getting your hamstring touching the calf at the bottom of the rep, it's practically useless in my opinion, okay? So drop the ego, drop the load, make sure you're getting your heels nice and low, you're driving your knees forward over your toes, and you're getting as much knee flexion as you possibly can. Then build the weight back up from there. That's how you build big quads. That's not my style, right? I'm in here, you get me? Like, when I'm on a set, I'm not screaming and shouting and saying fuck you and all because I'm too focused on what I'm doing. Do you know what I mean? Like, I would much rather have that internal dialogue. Don't be a little bitch, stay locked in, focus, grind through, than just be outwardly screaming the gym down, you know? Each to their own, like, I know some people like to let out the frustration, but I'm just too concentrated on what I'm doing, you know? 14. We'll get 14, come on. Beautiful stuff. So guys, 15 reps there. And if you heard me before that set, I was giving myself some positive affirmations. I was saying 14 reps here, you get 14 reps. And I got 15. Now that set, it was fucking suffering, okay? It sucked balls. Towards the end, it was a struggle getting those last couple of reps. And I could have very easily told myself, you wanted 14 reps. You got your 14 reps. Rack it, leave it there. But I didn't, I got 15. I had one more left in me. And even though I told myself before the set, I wanted to get 14, I didn't stop there. So your rep ranges are only guidelines, guys. And I say this to my clients all the time. If I program you an 8 to 10 or a 12 to 15, you're not supposed to stop at the top of that rep range. You're supposed to stop when you hit failure, when you can't get any more reps. So even if you want to get a certain number, and that's the number you need to beat in your logbook to progress it, don't just stop there. Get that extra rep. If it's there, fucking take it. Oh, should have waited. Should have waited a little longer. My brain is gone at this stage of the session. Fuck's sake. I need to get the bar, I need to get the deadlift bar. So I was doing these the last day and Kuba said get the fucking deadlift bar for a little bit of whip. So I'm obviously going to be adding at least 20 kg to this today because I got the whippy bar. So bear with me. Right, the knee sleeves aren't needed for the RDL, so I'll take these off. I'm feeling it now at this stage of the session. Must have been that extra set of leg extensions, boys. The fatigue is hitting me. But This is where you just have to find your minerals. When you get to the end of the session, you start getting tired. The energy stores are depleted a little bit, but you still got one big set. Just gotta suck it up and get it done, guys, okay? Tiredness is in the mind. So you choose to be tired, you choose to be fatigued, and you choose not to push as hard as you know you can push if you really switch it on. So just make sure, guys, mindset stays on point at all times, because where the mind goes, the body will follow. Oh yeah, feels good, feels smooth. So this is my 4th rotation back on the Barbell RDL, and only now am I starting to get back into the rhythm with it. So when you've not done a movement in quite some time and you add it back into your plan, it will take a while for you guys to build up that kind of neurological connection with the movement pattern again. So give it time, be patient. Don't just do it and think, oh, this feels wank, and swap it out for something else. Give it a couple of rotations, start off light on the loading, build up, and then after a while, you're going to really fucking be able to manhandle it. So that's how I feel today on the Barbell RDL. So we'll load it up and we'll get after it. Jewellery's coming off, boys. We mean serious business. Serious business. We'll leave the hour ring on though, just so it knows I'm doing a good job and I'm doing my workout. Right guys, I want to quickly run through some execution pointers on the RDL. Honestly, I could probably spend all day talking about this, but just a couple of quick cues for you here, because I see this butchered very commonly. Now, number 1, a Barbell RDL is a hip hinge exercise. What you're not trying to do is just bring the bar down and bring the bar back up again. What you are trying to do is push your hips back and push your hips forward. We want to train the glutes and the hamstrings here. We don't want to just train the upper back and a little bit of quads, okay? So do not turn this into a conventional deadlift. Immediately, what I see a lot of people go wrong with on a Barbell RDL is they will bend at the knees and they'll bring the bar down, okay? You don't want to do that, okay? All you want to do is hinge at the hips. So keep your arms fully straight. Don't focus on bending at the back and bringing the bar down. Literally just push the hips backwards, okay? As the hips push backwards, keep your knee nice and locked, and the bar will naturally just start to come down along here, okay? Push your hips back towards the wall as much as you possibly can. Slight bend in the knee as the bar comes down. Pause here, and from this position, all you're thinking about doing is pushing your hips forward, okay? This movement here. What you're not doing is pulling the bar. So don't get to the bottom and just pull the bar up like this. I'll see people shrugging at the top of an RDL, extending through their hips, right? You're not bringing the bar down and pulling the bar back up again. This needs to stay fully braced. So wrap yourself in, grab the bar, arms stay down like this, bicep into the lat, and this stays fixed, okay? All you're doing is holding the bar here. Hips back, hips forward. Just hold the bar. Don't pull the bar, don't bring it down, don't bring it back up again. Just hold it dead still, okay? Push the hips back, 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 back. Pause, hips forward. It's literally it. Glutes back, glutes forward. Not bar up, bar down. No hinging at the back, no caving at the upper back. Keep it nice and neutral. Very, very simple to explain in theory. Extremely difficult for people to get nailed down in practice. So hopefully that helps, guys. It probably won't, because I probably do 17 Barbell RDL execution clips per week with clients, and I'm still getting them across every week, and people just can't fully seem to nail it down. It's one of those movements that I kind of need to be in person, in the gym with someone, and actually pushing and pulling them into position for them to really nail down. So tricky one, guys, but again, like any movement, stick with it, do it more. It'll come with time, with experience. You'll get there eventually. 3 plates aside for 10 reps last week. We're gonna go with 3.5 plates aside today. I would be pretty happy with 8 reps, but even if I get like a 7, that'd be acceptable. But 8 is what we're going for here. It does feel a little bit better with the whippy bar today. I must say it's a little bit easier on the change of direction. So we'll take a little bit of a breather here. I do take a lot more rest in between my RDL sets. Lower back is feeling a touch after the 2 sets on the leg press today. So take a little bit of a breather and we'll make sure we are fully locked in for this top set. I nearly went for that 9th rep, but I stopped for a second and I had a little bit of a wobble and I said, nah, don't do it. I'm happy with that. Got 8 there, but I knew where to leave that. This is one exercise as well that I don't want to be a hero on, because I did actually tear a hamstring on this before, so it's always going to live in your head a little bit rent-free. So calves, guys, very similar to what I mentioned about biceps earlier, or arms in general. Treat them like any other body part, okay? Don't pussy out, don't bitch out. End of the session, we're tired here, but we still got to give calves the love and attention they deserve. And look, are they ever going to be good? No, they're always going to be shit. Your calves are just genetic, guys, right? They're like every other body part. It's like the size of your appendage. It's not going to change, you're kind of stuck with it, okay? But it doesn't stop you from pumping, does it? It doesn't stop you from pumping. So make sure you train your calves, guys, with the same level of effort and intensity as everything else, if you want them to grow in any way, shape or form, right? And in my opinion, calves are probably up there with one of the most painful body parts to train, if not the most painful if you train them properly. When you're finished your set of calves, they should literally feel like they're filling up with battery acid. If you don't feel that way, you're not training them hard enough, guys. And I think a big mistake people make with calves is they will go too heavy and they'll not be able to contract and stretch through the muscle properly. And that first set there, that was too heavy for me. Even though I got like 15, 16 reps, it was too heavy for me. That should have suffered. That should have felt like more suffering than it actually was. So we're gonna go much lighter for the back off set now. And we'll get a much better burn for that one. Is it all about burn and feel and pump? No, it's not. But certain body parts I find just respond a little bit differently. And that's just the bro science in me. So me and Andrew were talking about that off camera, about the science and the bro science. Too much science these days, not enough bro science. Bro science is making a comeback though. 2026, I reckon, is the make bro science great again era. So we're bringing it back, baby. Oh, that's fucking roasting at this stage. Only filled that up like 10-15 minutes ago, and the heat in the gym is just made it absolutely roasting. Top tip as well, guys, actually, in the winter months, about an hour before you go to the gym, maybe even a little bit more, if you like it a little bit kind of like slushy like, put your intra in the freezer. Game changer, absolute game changer.
Last set, best set. Let's get it, baby. Oh, fuck. Whew. Rest pause on that last set. Disgusting. And with calves as well, I always hold the stretch, hold the squeeze, and when they're full of blood like that, and you're trying to get up onto your tippy toes and hold them. Oh, it hurts like a motherfucker. In a good way though, it's a nice pain, in a real masochistic sort of way. I really like the pump that you get in calves. So that's it, guys. That is the session wrapped up. Delts, arms, legs, productive one. I'm certainly feeling it a little bit now, I won't lie. I thought at the start I might be able to do that extra arm work just as well I didn't, guys. Just as well I didn't. Know your limits. Don't get greedy with it. That's important. And this is where it comes down to experience and nailing your volume and nailing your frequency and all these other sort of variables. You might think, I'm able to do more, I can do more volume, I can do more sets, but it's always quality over quantity, guys, okay? So make sure you don't get greedy with things. Make sure you are given the sets that you do have your absolute all before you actually look to sprinkle in extras, intensifiers, extra sets, drop sets, rest pauses. Master the straight set first. That is the most important thing. You don't master the straight set, you're just flat out not going to grow, guys. Learn how to train failure, train to failure, learn how to train hard, learn how to recover even better, and just rinse and repeat. That's all you need to do. Right, guys, video wrapped up. I did a lot of yapping today and I did a lot of training, so when I get home it'll be zoning out for the evening time and chilling out, I'll tell you that much. But hopefully you found some value from today's session. I think for once I actually came out with some decent points. Sometimes I come in here, it's a shit show. Sometimes it's a little bit better. I feel like today was a little bit of a better day, which is good because we're not going to be back in the gym for a while now because we're deloading. So guys, make sure to drop the video a like. Make sure to comment down below what you'd like to see moving forward when I'm in the gym from the channel, or anything that I did mention in this video that you're unsure of or you want me to elaborate on a little bit further. Drop the comments down below, guys. I'm always answering the comments on YouTube for anyone who does actually ask me a question or wants to know a little bit more. Make sure to subscribe if you're new here, guys, and you haven't already. There's still 52% of you, I believe, who have not subscribed to the channel. So make sure you hit that subscribe button so that you can stay tuned for all future content that I'm going to be posting. And as always, guys, thank you very much for watching. We'll catch you in the next one. Beautiful.